Sudden deafness may be defined as a sensory neural hearing loss of 30 decibel or more over at least 3 contiguous audiometric frequencies that develops over a period of a few hours to 3 days. There are few possible causes that can lead to deafness in dogs. First, geriatric animals may develop presbycusis, which is an age-related hearing loss. It is a form of deafness due to thickening of the bones in the middle ear and degeneration of stria vascularis. Presbycusis also can reflect the cumulative effects of noise, disease, ototoxic agents, and the aging process itself. However, this condition is often seen after the animal undergoes procedures that require the administration of general anesthesia, even though the cause and effect relationship is still unknown. Presbycusis may be accompanied by tinnitus. Tinnitus is a ringing in the ear when there is absence of actual external sound. It can be caused by prolonged exposure to loud sounds or due to ear infection. As a matter of fact, the possibility of generating tinnitus is well known for the most widely used antihypertensive drugs. Next is furosemide ototoxicity. Since Firmina develops symptoms and conditions caused by its geriatric state, including edema due to deteriorating kidney functions and hypertension, Firmina has been administered with furosemide. Furosemide is loop diuretic drugs that act on the ascending limb of the loop of Henle. It is used in treatment of edematous state or hypertension. Furosemide only induces temporary hearing loss, but rarely permanent deafness. However, in severe acute or chronic renal failure, permanent hearing loss may happen. Loop diuretics induce pathological changes in the cochlea, such as the formation of edematous space in the epithelium of stria vascularis, which leads to rapid decrease of the endolymphatic potential and eventually loss of cochlear microphonic potential. In this case, we think the right diagnosis would be furosemide ototoxicity because the symptoms fit furosemide ototoxicity effect, and it also appears after Firmina start to be administered with furosemide.
Beginning with furosemide, the drug is taken via oral route and about 20% is metabolized by the liver through the glucuronide conjugation pathway. For drug distribution, it is actively secreted into the urine by the organic acid transport system of proximal convoluted tubule. In most species, a single oral dose actually produces a plasma half-life of 1 to 2 hours and a diuresis for 3 to 6 hours. As for elimination, 80% of the drug is eliminated as unchanged drug and 20% as glucuronide. Moving on to angiotensin converting enzyme inhibitor, taking the drug with food does not decrease its bioavailability. In the liver, enalapril is transformed to the active metabolite enalaprilat. The distribution of drug begins with a low onset and reaches peak plasma concentration within 4 to 6 hours. The drug is given daily 1 to 2 times and eliminated unchanged via urine. Now, let's talk about the adverse effect of the drugs. Furosemide will lead to conditions such as hypokalemia, dehydration, muscle weakness, central nervous system depression, volume depletion, cardiovascular collapse. And what's more, it will even cause deafness when combined with other ototoxic drugs such as aminoglycoside and antibiotics. It will even lead to conditions such as transient granulocytopenia and thrombocytopenia. As for angiotensin converting enzyme inhibitor, the more adverse effect of the drug is hypertension, gastrointestinal upset, renal failure, and also hyperkalemia. Moving on to the pathophysiology of the drugs, consumption of both these drugs will cause severe hypotension. A fall in glomerular filtration pressure will then decrease the mean arterial pressure. This will cause the renal perfusion pressure cannot be sustained, and it will finally lead to acute renal failure. In the case of acute renal failure, Furosemide is administered, and this increases the tendency of deafness. It changes the blood flow and also abolishes the sterile blood flow in the cochlear lateral wall. It causes damage to the tight cell junctions in the blood vessels, and this increases the permeability of the lateral wall to the ototoxic drugs. This causes the edematous spaces in the epithelium of the strata vascularis and lead to rapid decrease of the endolymphatic potential. The loss of cochlear microphonic potential, summating potential, and compound action potential will actually cause deafness. On the other hand, damage to the tight cell junctions in the blood vessels will cause ischemia. This causes a decline in enzymatic activities and causes the inactivation and inhibition of sodium-potassium co-transport in the strata vascularis, and this causes the loss of functions of the cells. Finally, it leads to the deafness of the dog.
The first mechanism that we can use is by reducing its drug dose. We can do this by do a slow continuous infusion instead of bolus injection. We can also do divided oral dose regimes and ensure not exceed 50 microgram per ml furosemide. If persists, discontinue usage of furosemide drug. Opt one of the drug use, as hearing-related side effects occur when 2 or more ototoxic drug prescribed. We can also substitute the diuretic drug with bumetanide to minimize ototoxicity. Other option is by substitute furosemide with non-ototoxic antihypertensive drug such as hydralazine and minoxidil. We can also provide kidney-friendly diet, which is a diet that contains low phosphate, rich in high-quality protein, and high in water-soluble vitamins, as we know that Firmino have suffered a chronic kidney failure that might contribute to furosemide ototoxicity. We can also consider the co-administration of antioxidants such as avenantramide. By giving avenantramide, it can provide protection against deterioration in hearing due to furosemide. Another option is we can give N-acetylcysteine. It can reduce inner ear damage, the permanent threshold shift, and inner hair cell loss.